Hi there, welcome to Prime Time. I'm with Singh, cover star of edition 21 of Game Changers magazine, which you may have seen today, hopefully you have. Sunny, we've known each other for quite some time now, working together with sports sponsorships and also various articles that we've done as well. So it's really great to have him here to pick his knowledge, as he's one of the leaders of this market with regards to sports branding and say the entertainment industry as well. Would that be fair that you can also have this? All right, cool. So the best place to start is I'll let you kind of take the lead. Can you tell us more about Van Hawke?
Yeah, so Van Hawke Sports is a sports marketing consultancy. So we actively assist FX brands with sports sponsorships and brand ambassador opportunities.
Okay, so just so everyone knows, when we first met, I kind of had an adversarial attitude to sports branding. I just thought,
I think that's putting it politely.
yeah, I just really thought it was throwing money away. However, he convinced me it's otherwise. So maybe if you could just give us a quick rundown of how it actually affects or can support your brand.
Sports marketing is, I'd say, another avenue of marketing as a whole, though. But it has to be used correctly. I think we're all fully aware of FX brands actively engaging within some form of sports sponsorships or actively using brand ambassadors in which to promote brand awareness. But it's really kind of understanding as to what the ROI element is of that particular brand, in terms of marketing channel for which a brand can actively engage with it.
Okay, I think my challenge was I didn't understand the ROI, how it worked, how I could see money in, money out, so to speak. Could you kind of elaborate on how this works?
I think first and foremost, what really needs to be understood with any form of, say, sports sponsorships, and I use that term quite loosely, is it needs to be bespoke to the brand itself, though. Right now, the way sports sponsorships are actually conducted is quite antiquated in the sense of it's a one-shoe-fits-all model, and that doesn't necessarily relate to all brands. It's really understanding as to what the brand actually requires, when it requires for those assets to be activated, and obviously, the ROI, from that. Hence, I see in so many brands, take part within a football sponsorship or whatever it may be for, say, 1 year, and then, unfortunately, then pulling out of that deal, though, because they haven't been able to prove any ROI to that. And to answer your question, though, those ROI metrics can be everything from engagement with social posts, could be to, say, lead generation exercises, anything to, obviously, account opening as well, though, really.
Okay, so it must be quite a bespoke solution for each brokerage or brand that you're taking on. Like, what do you do? Are you kind of like a doctor as such, where you would sit there, consult them and understand more about them?
I think my mother actually wanted me to be a doctor. But yes, I think it's, as I mentioned earlier, it's not a one-shoe-fits-all model. It's really actively engaging with the brand, working alongside with the brand, really understanding as to what their objectives are. And then from that, though, then finding them or actively working alongside with them to engage with the right sponsorship opportunity.
All right, cool. So with this as well, it's quite a broad industry where there's a lot of people involved, like agents, etc. Like, you've got a very good name in this industry. When brands, if they don't use you, for example, is there like a kind of a checklist that they should look for to make sure they are dealing with someone efficient who's got their own benefit, that everyone's working together for the same end?
Is this with the agency?
Yeah, well, no, for example, if I'm an FX brand and I'm just going and I've just told my head of marketing, go get me Cristiano Ronaldo, for example, how do I know that I'm dealing with, all right, maybe Ronaldo's a bad one, but how do I know I'm dealing with the correct people outside who deals with Ronaldo, for example?
Well, unless they're dealing with us.
Yeah, no, that's something.
Well, first and foremost, I think, in terms of any active advice, is to go directly to the source, which is quite freely available, especially now, where you have the likes of, say, LinkedIn and obviously any social media. It's very easy to actively engage with a person or a company directly at the source level. If unfortunately you're not able to do so, I think actually, in terms of credibility for an agency, is really kind of getting to the crux of the relationships, which they actively have, though, and looking at active case studies, as to what they've done previously for brands.
Okay, now we were previously discussing about Instagram influencers when we were having a coffee before the shoot, and I was curious to know, do you think these influencers will play any part in a marketing model for a Forex agency or brand?
Most definitely. We for better or worse, we now live in the day of influencers, though. Influencers actually have to a certain extent, more of a say and more of a sway with certain individuals than any form of logo splashing across a football team as such, though, really. The influencer market really drills into the end consumer, whereas I'd say general branding exercises, say sponsorships as a whole, though, that's more of a scattergun approach, though, really, i.e. that brand visibility, which, yes, by all means does actually get to the end user, though, but in terms of active engagement, yeah, influencers seem to be leading the way for that.
Okay, is there a hard and fast formula that you would kind of use for a Forex brokerage if they were to approach you, like for them to get success?
It's very bespoke. It's there is a as I mentioned several times earlier, it's not a one shoe fits all model, though. It's really understanding as to what the company objectives are, where they're looking to actually target, what their target demographic actually is, though, and also budget as well, though, and what they're seeking in return. Because
we also get a lot of hedge funds watching funds. It's not just the Forex market that Sonny works with. He works with quite an extensive portfolio. Was that fair to say, of clients? So
lucky in that, though. Yeah.
All right, cool. So how can people get hold of you to find out more about what you offer, how to use your services correctly?
Sorry, so just to quickly answer the first part, though. So obviously sports sponsorships, it's just one aspect of it, though. One thing that we have done quite successfully, actually, I say within the fund territory, is to do with client activation events, though. So this is where you would host an event within a unique environment, say within a sporting environment, could be a Formula One race, just for an example, where you would actively invite your both existing and, say, prospective clients, and effectively go for that soft sell strategy. And that could also feature, say, a keynote speaker, anything that would enhance your brand message, at the time.
Because in the previous issue where Sonny featured of Game Changers, we had some really great pictures at the Montreal Grand Prix. You had the Spanish. Who was the Spanish driver? Alonso. Yeah. So look, you're getting real tier one, like superstars. Essentially, you can have with your clients, and that only, from my experience, ends in one way, a positive way. Should we say?
It's about having that positive association with your brand, though. Really, anything that creates this unique, i.e. money can't buy experience, which gets associated with your brand, will resonate, positively, with your target audience.
All right. So just to return to my previous question, how can people get hold of you?
Well, ideally the website.
Yeah. Give me your website.
So that's www.vanhawkesports.com. They can obviously get our contact information directly from there, though, or even email me direct at sunny@vanhawkesports.com. All
right, cheers, Sonny. That was absolutely awesome. So, one of the industry leaders, definitely what we'd call a thought leader in this industry. So, get hold of Sonny, because for me, he is the man for that bespoke solution to bring your brokerage to the next level. All right, thanks, everyone. See you. Bye-bye.